Toilets flying through the sky.
I learned about cactus.
Without finding yourself hilarious.
Oh, that's hard for me.
Dim.
Shyamalan!
Would you like a lemon? Lemon! Lemon! Would you like a lemon?
Habbers!
Take poo! Oh, sorry, I meant two.
And then I'd love you till I make you pop.
Dun dun dun. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Yeah, there it is. There it is!
Yeah, I'm in a tree! Ow! We're in love. Jeffrey Chaucer!
There's a cactus in my hair!
I need to not lose my shit.
Yo, I must have like fallen on a bullet and it like drove itself into my gut.
Hey, don't worry. You don't have to make up stories here. Save that for court. Save that for court.
Excuse me, Mr. Smithers. Bart may be seriously hurt. Could we possibly go ahead of you?
No. I really would rather get this taken care of. No. I really would rather. No.
Excuse me, little lady. The wheelbarrow line is over there. Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are a dangerous mix. Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are a dangerous mix. Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are a dangerous mix. Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are a dangerous mix.
Excuse me, Mr. Smithers.
Excuse me, little lady.
Excuse me, Mr. Smithers.
Excuse me, little lady.
Excuse me, Mr. Smithers.
Excuse me, little lady.
Excuse me, Mr. Smithers.
Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers. Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers. Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers. Oh, loneliness
Live. Die. Die? Live. 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 Live! Live! Ah! Live! Oh. Live!
Jeremy Mange, isn't he strange? But listen to his voice, he's got incredible range.
Will you take us to Mount Splashmore?
No.
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 Will you take us to Mount Splashmore? Will you take us to Mount Splashmore?
No.
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 Will you take us to Mount Splashmore? Will you take us to Mount Splashmore?
If I take you, will you two shut up and quit bugging me?
Yeah, of course. Well. Will you take us to Mount Splashmore?
Yes.
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 Thanks, Dad.
Now, the interesting thing is, I have no way to know if it's actually done it until it loads on there. Hey, yeah, there we are. I hate technology. We're there. I hate technology despite it being my job and my hobby. But yes, we are live. Ben,
Your jobby, as it were.
I hate my job. That means
Your
poo,
jobby.
doesn't it? Jobby.
It does mean poo.
Welcome back to the Conversation
You
at
little
Podcast live stream, Jobby. This isn't a podcast yet because we haven't pressed record. We've just pressed live, which means it's the show before the show. Me and Ben are maintaining a social distance of 2 postcodes, I think.
It's a fair bit.
Yeah,
I am
a bit.
I'm far away. If you were to look out of your window, I couldn't see you.
Isn't that would nearly be true, but not by a huge amount normally.
I mean, we're far away from it. We're in different houses.
Ben isn't next. If I do this, ordinarily I'd be stroking Ben on the face, but today, no. I don't know if Ben knows what I'm doing because I don't know if Ben can see me.
Probably waggling your arm. No, I cannot see you.
But you can
because
infer.
of how our setup is set up.
So the whole point of
I can't actually see you at the moment.
The whole point of doing a podcast doing a live show before the podcast is that we can share the whole 2 old men not being able to work basic video chat conferencing software. I mean, this has actually gone really smoothly because
bundle me in with your old mannessness.
Because we had the sort of panic of I don't know why it's not working yesterday. And let me just tell you, there's cables going from there to there, and then there to there. Some of them are going back there. Some of them are going background into itself, like a weird Ouroboros of jack cables, and some of them are going back. And I'm pretty sure I know what I'm doing. But if it all comes tumbling down like a deck of poorly wound cables, then all I'm saying is
that it can't possibly be my fault because I'm far, far away from you.
Yeah, all I've got to say about that is the Patreon link is in the description. Go nuts. Like, if you want to get someone in here to wind my cables for me, that'd be amazing. Ben, what are we talking about today? Ben. Ben.
Today, Liam, we are talking about Marble Hornets. Something that you've wanted me to watch for many, many moons.
11 years is about the amount of time. Did we hang out 11 years ago? We knew each other. I don't know if we were hanging out.
Yeah, we knew each other. I don't think we were hanging out really. Not to the degree that we do now.
No. We were in each other's purview, but we weren't friends or podcast buddies. Yeah, so it came out in 2009. How much do we want to chat about it before we actually start the podcast recording? Is there anything we want to say to the people who are watching us currently? Hey, there's a few of you. Hello. Captain Buddy, thank you for the salt. Captain Buddy on Twitch. Captain Buddy sends us salt. I think that's what it says.
Thanks, buddy.
Captain Buddy.
No, I think we can. Let's start the podcasty.
The podcast.
Let's start that. Let's start that old recording.
1 2 1 2. I am pressing record now. Ben, can you give us a 1 2?
1 2.
Oh, okay. Hang on 1 sec. Let's put you up over there. You up over there. Give us a 1 2 again.
1 2.
Perfect.
1,
we
2,
could have done
2,
we could have done this
1,
earlier.
2, 1.
We could have done this all in advance, but we haven't. Are you recording?
Yes, I think
Good.
so. Yes,
I
why
wasn't
not?
I wasn't
Pretend that I
talking
am.
to my own audio device. I know that it's recording because the red light's on. Although I do have conversations with my audio recorders from time to time. Let me just get my notes ready.
Sometimes I say thank you to the ATM.
That's one of the most British things I think I've ever heard.
Saying thank you to the ATM and the self-service counters as well.
But not people
Sometimes
that
they
do
cheers.
things for you. Because people in the service
say
industry... Nah.
They don't count as people.
Don't count as people. No, truly, you are slightly more important than politicians. I'm going to put the time down. What's the date today?
Don't say slightly. I would say much more important than politicians.
Oh, yeah.
Today is the 26th of the 4th, 2020.
Where does the time go? Quarantine week.
It is the third year of quarantine.
It's the end of week 5 for me. How long is it for you?
I think... what, did you start when the whole country went down?
Well, I started when the schools officially closed, which was the 23rd of March. That was officially when the school closed. Or was it Friday?
Cool.
It was that Monday.
Yeah, mine would have been, I think, a few days before yours.
Yeah, because you had the sickness in your area.
Yeah, someone in my house had a cough. Don't say I had a sickness in my area. That
in the whole
really
penis
makes it
region,
sound very different.
Just got all warty and gross. It kept coughing on people. It was awful.
Yeah, someone in my house had a cough, which turned out not to be anything, but we still had to stay indoors for like 2 solid weeks, and it was just over a week before the UK went into lockdown that happened. So I've been probably about a week and a half more.
Well, you know the old saying,
lockdown.
Better safe than infecting other gammons on a bridge whilst you all clap for the NHS, you fucking idiots. That is a well-known saying. I'm so angry about that, and I'm even more angry that it's still happening. I've been cross since the first time it's happened, and I'm even more angry that it's happened again. That is truly the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Yeah, they did it like this Thursday as well. Yeah. Crowd of people clapping on Westminster Bridge in a crowd with police officers not dispersing them, clapping for the NHS, huddled together like an actual crowd of morons. You deserve to get it. Like, actually.
Wow.
Well done. Stupid.
I mean, I agree that people who are doing that deserve to get it, but they take their kids with them and then will go and see...
And then they'll clog up the NHS.
Family
and yeah. It's this whole stupid thing.
If it was just stupid people, like the people in America who were going, I need a haircut. If it was just them who would get fucked up by this...
No one needs a haircut. It's
care.
a racket. No one needs a haircut.
I did mine. Well, I got someone else to do mine. It was not meant to be this short. We realised that as soon as you take the plastic bit off the clippers, it resets it to 0 when you put it back on, so it's a bit shorter than I intended.
Gotcha.
But look, that's that done. I've not gone out. I've not protested. If it was just these people that are just hurting themselves...
But it's not, is it?
Then it's you could just go, what morons, whatever. But it's not. They're hurting themselves, everyone else, the people who are trying to help them and everyone else, and then everyone
I realise I started this conversation, but I am going to end it.
Don't go into crowds.
Yeah, don't, obviously. So, this is the Conversation Out podcast, a show for geeks, artists, and terrible people in a lockdown that actually I don't mind too much, but it's really hard to say that without sounding smug. I'm here with, my name, need that one. My name is Liam Taylor, and I'm here with my co-host Ben. How's it going, Ben?
Epstein didn't kill himself.
Wow,
Don't forget that either.
What did Epstein kill?
More on that story later.
Morons,
I couldn't
everyone.
think of anything funny to say.
There's nothing funny in there.
I'm still cross about the bridge.
Yeah. We've been complaining about bridges and people on bridges. Make of that what you will. This episode of the Conversation Up podcast is being live streamed. That's why I sound so much more professional and prepared compared to the normal episodes. We are live streaming now to YouTube and Twitch. We recently became partners on Twitch. I have not yet worked out what that means practically, but it is very cool. Thank you, Twitch.
It means we can say it and we sound important.
It absolutely means that.
It's like when we went onto SoundCloud.
What? When we went onto SoundCloud?
When we went onto SoundCloud. When we ended up being... You can now listen to us on SoundCloud.
Do you mean Spotify?
That one. That one. The one that's impressive.
Ben does receive the staff email, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't read it. Do we need to find another medium? Do we need to send you an audio digest of the staff email? Do we need to do a staff email podcast? Will you listen to that? No, because you don't listen to podcasts. God damn it, Ben.
Could we have a staff notification sent by Barbershop Quartet?
Or do we just need to get the Game Grumps to record our staff newsletter and then you watch that? Is that the only way to reach you?
Yeah, that would... I have a feeling that would cost a lot more.
Who's cheaper, Game Grumps or Ricky Gervais? Because those are the only two people you listen to.
I listen to Sorted Food and Outside Xbox.
Okay, so...
Outside Extra, I enjoy these people.
Okay, so I basically need to, contact these four groups of people. We'll maybe stick with the British ones for ease of communication.
Yeah, Sorted Food and Outside Xbox are probably going to be less monetarily draining than Ricky Gervais or the Game Grumps.
Yeah, quite possibly. This episode
I'm
of the...
getting Game Grumps' book message sent to me today. That's turning up in the post. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. I'm waiting on last podcast on the Left's book, which we pre-ordered ages ago and apparently have not yet got. That's a podcast, Ben.
It is a podcast, yes. It says so in its name.
Yes, it does. I'm also wearing their t-shirt.
I'm wearing a Tattoo by Fabio's t-shirt.
Oh, yeah. Very nice. Look at that.
Okay, it's the last ones to have come out of the shop before that unfortunate fire business on Mill Road.
Wow, yeah. Bloody hell. Today, on this podcast, we are talking about early 2000s internet phenomenon, Marble Hornets, and Slenderman as well. Marble Hornets was a web series born out of the Slenderman mythos, which we will talk about probably in detail in a second. The web series came out in 2009. There were 3 seasons, 3 series, although we don't really... I don't think they intended them to be series when they started. And I think it ran for 3, maybe 4 years. So there's something like 80 videos. There's like a whole lot.
83, I believe.
And what's interesting about it is it became kind of an ARG, an alternate reality game. So you would watch the videos, and then between the videos you would try to like decipher messages inside of the videos. You would try to run distorted images through spectrographs to see if they made a sound. You would try to disseminate visual clues or data from sounds in it, and there was this whole big ass world of stuff, and I'm pretty sure there wasn't actually anything hidden in any of it other than like the really obvious stuff. But that was kind of taking up a lot of my time in 2009. I think my brother showed it to me around about episode 14, entry 14. And it takes the format is these short YouTube videos. So like some of them were like a minute long, some of them were like a few seconds, and it kind of took place between two YouTube channels. So there was the Marble Hornets YouTube, and then there was To The Ark, which I don't know if we ever really work out what it is, but it seemed like Marble Hornets was categorizing and kind of showing these videos, and then To The Ark was doing like responses and sometimes trying to guide the Marble Hornets channel, sometimes trying to trick it. I don't know.
It seems sort of like almost a call and response.
Yes.
I've been watching them. I'd never seen any of them. I have binged as much as I can. I mean, we're in quarantine. We're in lockdown. I still don't have that much time. I was taking a lot of pictures of sunsets, baking bread, complaining on YouTube, on Facebook that I couldn't go outside and I'm really bored. So I had all those things taking up my time. So I've only about halfway through it.
You were living the real basic
So
bitch
far.
of quarantine life.
Yes, I was missing frappuccinos that I never ordered and all that crap.
So we sort of decided we'd do this a week or so ago. So you've just been watching Marble Hornets with your spare time.
I've been as much as I can.
Yeah.
Over the last 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching. I thought I'd be able to get through all of them because, as you said, some of them are only about 30 seconds, some are only about 2 or 3 minutes. Some of them are then 7 minutes, some of them are 15 minutes, and that really sort of goes, oh, maybe I couldn't. So I haven't quite been able to get it through all of it, although I have now sort of hit that point where I'm going, like now probably after this, because I was watching a few before we started streaming just so I could get as much in as I could.
Yeah.
I feel that once we've finished streaming, I'm going to just remain sat here, put on the playlist on YouTube and just sit and finish it.
Yes.
Because it's got to that point where I'm really sort of invested now.
It's super, super compelling. So shall we talk a little bit about what happens in Marble Hornets? And you'll probably have a better idea because it's so fresh in your mind. I sort of, part of me wanted to rewatch a whole bunch of them, but I realized, as you've found out, if I start watching them, that's it for the rest of quarantine. I'm just I'm gonna be watching all of them. So
that's the whole lot.
Shall we go back and talk about like the origins of Slenderman a little bit? Do you know the origins of Slenderman?
Well, I thought that this was the origin of Slenderman, or was Slenderman around before?
He was around before. Marble Hornets was the kind of the thing that made Slenderman a big deal and well known, and then obviously we had like some unfortunate incidents, and then the Slenderman movie more recently, and Slenderman games and all that stuff. But Marble Hornets was the thing that just exploded it, really. Slenderman started on the Something Awful thread, which is basically like old school internet where you go to talk about weird stuff, nerdy stuff. Let me see if I can find the original images. And the original Slenderman image is this one. Oh, let me bring it over. This guy right here. And the thread was, I think it was a competition who can make the creepiest image. Which
Okay.
So what you've got here is like a crowd of children, and behind them is like this weird kind of
big old tall boy.
But what's interesting is it looks like it's wearing a kind of like a tux or like a Georgian, not a ruff, but like one of those big poofy shirt type things. You know, not quite a ruff, but like one of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
like what Fred used to wear in Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, totally. And this is the second Slenderman image. And again, it's like a playground full of children. And in the background is, again, you can sort of see now we've got the evolution of these like tentacles. And like it's a bit more like a suit. You can sort of see the outline of a tie there. And yeah, these weird sort of evolving, moving tendrils. So I think one of the things that I really like about the internet is the fact that you can just have these. Cravat. Thank you, Scarjoy3 on Twitch. Cravat.
Yes.
Also on YouTube, AFPDMs. That took a while. Dyslexic. Fabio's Whoop Whoop. Which is nice. It's nice that you can say a thing and people know what the thing is.
Yeah.
So one of the cool things about the internet, especially like the early days, is when someone had an idea, people would kind of just run with it. And this is where we got like creepypastas and scary stories. And I think Slenderman was like one of the earliest creepypastas. I'm going to have to explain creepypastas now, aren't I?
They're just people make creepy stories that are almost believable. And sometimes they have like the roots in truth.
Yes.
But so it's enough that if you heard about it from your mate, you would believe it.
Yeah.
Sort of.
It's like the internet version of like a rumor mill. And so the word creepypasta comes from copy paste, because you would copy and paste a story from one place to another. And the idea is that you would tell people, oh, I found this story on another forum, when actually it was just something you'd written. So you kind of, you renounce any claim to have made it in order to make the thing seem slightly more legitimate, even when it was just a creepy story that you and your mates came up with. So Slenderman, like the idea sort of got taken by people and like evolved over time. And I think these original images, there was no, there wasn't any story that came with them. That whoever made them just posted it. It says here, credits Victor Surge's original image on Slenderman from Victor Surge, DeviantArt, and Victor Surge's second one. I've not heard the name Victor Surge because the internet will take something and credit it to someone else. And according to this website, it's Victor Surge, which I'm prepared to believe. So I don't think they made any kind of story. They just kind of posted the images. And obviously, because they're with children...
And look how creepy.
And it is creepy, massively. And the sort of the mythology that grew out of that is that Slenderman is this weird character who will sort of appear, implicitly has kind of psychic powers, appears very tall, very gangly, no face, just like bald and then no features, like someone took Voldemort and just took a sander to his face or something. And that's a horrible thought. And then the idea is that it obviously like malevolent evil, and it kind of will herd children and then feed on souls or whatever.
Does whatever creepy things do.
Does whatever a creepy thing does. So that is basically all you need to know about Slenderman. Some people decided that it has tentacles. Well, I guess the second original image has tentacles here. And then basically from that, I think Marble Hornets happened in 2009, something like July 2009, and around just after that, because it sort of took off quite quickly, we then had the Slenderman game, and all sorts of other versions of games, and then like people obviously like did their own photo shoots, and like it just sort of took off in a big way. So Marble Hornets is, on the face of it, a story about a student film that a bunch of people were trying to make in, I think it's Alabama. Yeah, it's Alabama, and this is going to show you how into it I was, because I managed to, on Google Earth, find the filming locations.
Well, that's not creepypasta at all, is it?
That's something you could do even in 2009, 2010. Yeah, I think it was either Alabama or Kentucky. Alabama sounds more right. This is like a decade ago, though, so I might be misremembering. The sort of the narrative of it is this dude, Troy, who is the narrator, he was working on a film with a chap called Alex. I'm going to see if I can get some pictures up of the characters. Troy. Nope. Let me just do a Google. Troy Ragnar. I'm going to get just whatever pictures I can find. There you go. That's Troy. So this dude is working on a film with a character called Alex.
And here we have Alex.
Yeah. And Alex basically... yeah, nailed it. Here it is. This is a good one. Is this going to be Pinterest? We can use Pinterest. Can I actually see the photo, though? That would be amazing. Come on, Pinterest. Right. Good. Troy's working on a film with a director called Alex. Through the course of the filming of this student film, Alex becomes erratic and has mood swings and is generally not a very nice person. And then eventually they just decide to bail on the whole operation. And I think a year or so later, or sometime later, Troy gets in contact and is like, hey, can we have all the old tapes? Because I think there might be something in them.
I think what it was he started freaking out, and then he was going to burn all the tapes. But then Troy was like, no, give me the tapes. And he said, yeah, you can have them, but just never
just don't watch them
to me again.
Which is like a plot hole, because surely if like you want to get rid of something and someone says, hey, can I have it? Like, yeah, you can have it, just don't watch them or do anything with them other than destroying them, which is what I was about to do. But then you took the bin bag full of tapes out of my hand as I was about to shove it in the fire. As long as you shove it in the fire now, I don't really care. Hey, you're walking off and watching them. Oh, no.
See, now, that you say it's a plot hole, it's more a plot point, because otherwise, if that had happened, there would be no videos. Well, there would be no tapes because they burnt them,
sure.
But then there would be no...
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
there'd be no entertainment.
So,
cool.
Or Alex knew that Troy would watch the tapes and therefore become entrapped in this whole thing.
What, like The Ring?
Yeah, kind of like The Ring. There are parallels to The Ring, I guess. Is it worth just playing entry number 1? Would that make sense at this point?
Sure. Let's
so let me
do
find
it.
I would.
Do you want to read out the bits that we can't, that are written down for the lovelies listening on the podcast?
So, yeah, I will do that. The annoying thing is that I can't turn our microphones down because of this whole situation. Oh, so there's an intro which is 2 minutes, and then entry 1. Shall we play the intro?
Sure. I'll just be quiet so it doesn't, so mics don't muck anything up.
Let me just skip this Squarespace advert. There we go. So this is entry 1 of Marble Hornet. These videos are all online still. Just Marble Hornets on YouTube. So, and I will read it out. The following clips are raw footage excerpts from Alex Crayley, a college friend of mine. I'm not going to audio describe. In 2006, Alex was in the process of shooting his student film entitled Marble Hornets, generic, stupid college film name. Over the 3 months that this took place, his film crew complained of his increasing levels of stress and irritability. Near the end of shooting, Alex halted production indefinitely and dropped the unfinished project. He told me it was due to the unworkable conditions on his set, which was less than a mile away from his house. I asked what he planned to do with the countless number of tapes he had filled. Burn them, quote. Being a film student myself, I hated to see all of his work go to waste. Yeah, fair enough. I hate burning tapes, that's stupid. And after some coercing, he agreed to give them to me. Under the condition that I never mention it to him again. Oh, okay, he didn't want him to get rid of them. He just wanted them to never mention it.
Yeah. He wanted them gone.
Yeah. Soon after, Alex transferred to another school, and I haven't seen him since. At the time, I was too unnerved to look through the tapes and eventually forgot about them. A few days ago, I found them filed away in the back of my closet. After 3 years and zero contact with Alex, I've decided to look through them.
You were right. I apologise.
All the tapes are unnumbered and missing timestamps. Other than taking place in the summer of 2006, it is impossible to determine the exact order or date of each. Should I find anything in them, I will upload it to keep as a permanent record. Yeah. So, go away, Squarespace. So, there's a few bits of info in there. The condition wasn't burn them. The condition was just never mention it to me again. And so it was 3 years between... was it 3 years between being given the tapes and watching them? Or 3 years between the filming?
I think it was 3 years being given them, because he said that he found them and there was 3 years with no contact.
That sounds
right. So it was like, whoo!
Yeah.
He doesn't sound like that. His voice doesn't go, whoo! It's not Banjo-Kazooie.
Not with this attitude. Another thing that's worth mentioning is the entries are all out of order. At no point are we told the official order of things, although make no mistakes, people have tried. So like we of course have marblehornets.wikidot.com. There's a page called the entries, and you can basically scroll through. There's a little bit of information about each video, and then that's just the release order. We also have a tentative chronology. So all the videos together, entry number 1, which we're about to watch, is likely the actual 17th video overall, if that makes sense. And there's also a suggested viewing order, because of course there is. I'm going to keep that up for my own reference. So these are all out of order. So anytime you've watched a film and like been confused because there's flashbacks, buddy, strap in. The other thing that's worth mentioning is he's only uploading videos that have interesting things in them.
So it's not like all of the stuff that the...
No.
That's
so
why
like
some are only very short clips.
And a lot of it is like implicitly they filmed a lot of B-roll and stuff, which is why you've got like people driving around, because it's a student film, so you have footage from inside of a car, because that's what student films are. Also, I think we should highlight how great of a name Marble Hornets is for a student film. Not great because it's good, but great because it really feels like there would be a student film called Marble Hornets. I can really believe that.
Yeah.
They fly, but they're made of rock. What is this? So here is a Squarespace advert. God damn it.
I'm sure that there must have been many student films called Marble Hornets after this.
My God, can you imagine? Right, entry number 1. I don't know if there's any sound. After viewing a couple of tapes and finding nothing unusual, I came across a clip that doesn't fit in with the others. I like that you get like a little snippet of information at the start of each video. That was something that, I don't know, that just really felt like it added something. From what I can tell, the following footage takes place inside Alex's house, not the set of Marble Hornets. So he's watched a handful of videos and they are all on set with actors and stuff, and this one is just in the director's house for no reason. So we'll play it and then inevitably replay it. The audio has been removed. Either the microphone was disabled at the time or it was taken out afterwards. Rustly, rustly, rustle. God, I love old DV cameras. There's nothing spoopy about them, is there?
I think it's the fact that they've used the little spooky cameras.
That really adds to it, doesn't it?
It does, because it sort of almost gives you jump scare.
Yep. Oh yeah, like anything
because
found
of
footage.
how it's such a shaky cam that the thing can be there, and then the person holding it has moved the camera. It basically acting like a cutaway in a film, but it's just gone to black, so you can't see anything. You want to shout with the screen, point the bloody thing at the thing so I don't get scared, and then it's moved, and then it's in your face.
It's interesting that we've come to associate handheld DV cameras with scary stuff and like Blair Witch, Marble Hornets, that whole thing. At work, a couple of years ago, we uncovered, so I work at a school, we uncovered like a crap ton of old video equipment because at some point we got funding for a really dope media suite, but this was like 10, 20 years ago. So now like this is all, we would have spent like 20 grand on all this stuff back then, but now it's worth like eBay money.
Tuppence halfpenny.
Yeah, if we're lucky, in old money. And like for a laugh, we stuck in a couple of the old tapes, which were like those little tiny DV tapes, and like it's really hard to watch any of them. And it was just like kids trying to make their own movies around the school, or like teachers trying to work out how the camera worked, and like you see like, hey, that's that teacher that's still here, but like it's 20 years ago, so they don't have the beard or whatever. But like all of it's creepy because it's on handheld DV tape, and it's really hard to watch because we've got that kind of I don't know.
That's where it goes now. That's the mentality.
Yeah. You know that there's going to be a skeleton in the background, or like someone's going to get hit by a truck or whatever. Cool. So I'll replay that, and I'll put it on the big screen as well. So basically, the thing of note is he's in a house. He's wandering around, and he opens the window. And did you see this first time around, Ben?
I don't know. I think I might have done. Because there's a little Slenderman.
Yeah, there he is.
Hanging out right on the very last bit of the screen.
Facing away.
But it doesn't. It barely looks like him.
This is one of the cool things about DV tape, is that you can get away with stuff not looking like stuff. Did you notice his head turning?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to play this on. I don't know how.
Replay that for me.
So just before the camera snaps away, the head turns, and that's why the camera goes.
There is a little bit of movement, yeah.
A little bit of movement.
Oh, shit. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even worse than everything else.
That's...
I did, when I was watching these, I think particularly some of like the 30, 40-second ones that were uploaded by the Marble Hornets people. We'll get into the ARC people later.
Yes.
When there was only like 30, 40-second ones, or even a minute or two, I would watch them. And then there might be the noise, that sometimes pops up, which I think is really well done, because apparently Slenderman mucks about with the equipment.
Yes.
So instead of having scary music to like build tension or anything, they've got this weird audio distortion, which works just as well, if not better, because it means that he's coming for you. So sometimes there would be that I would hear, but I wouldn't have seen anything. So I'd have to go back about 3 or 4 times before going, there he is.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I watched it a number of times and still couldn't see anything. So it's really well secreted away in there.
The interesting thing about that you bring up is when you watch a horror film or something, and a lot of this comes from the fact that I work in film audio, so like I know a bit about like the tricks of the trade and how you build tension and stuff. So like horror movies tend not to affect me because you can tell when something spooky is about to happen, because you've got like this subtle kind of rise or like a tense little pad that comes in, and you know something spooky is about to happen, and you can sort of tell like, oh, it's about to crescendo now. Oh, there's the jump scare. So it just doesn't work. But when, go on.
I was going to say something that gets me. I'm going to see if I can recreate it on camera. Is when there's a shot of the main person like this. So they're in like the bottom left of the camera.
Yeah.
And then there is the big empty top right. Most of the screen is empty. And that, I'm always ready, because that's when some shit's going to pop out at you. And when it doesn't, I feel very cross that it's made me nervous for nothing.
And that framing is interesting as well, because it's the rule of thirds. So the main character is in the bottom right third, so then you're almost expecting to see something in the other third, and you're kind of looking directly there, even though it's empty space. Scarjoy3 on Twitch, that noise still makes me paranoid all this time later. Yeah, it's awful. And what else were we saying? Oh yeah, the fact that there's stuff hidden there, and you can sort of get these audio cues without necessarily seeing things. That the inherent rewatchability of these videos is one of the things that really makes the series, and like really gets you into the whole stupid paranoia of the whole situation. Inside the story of Slenderman, there's something about Slenderman's presence that will distort.
He brings presents.
Yeah, sort of. He's kind
like
of
Santa.
Like the opposite of Santa, like a kind of Bandersnatch character. Bandersnatch? Krampus. Got my Bandersnatch and my Krampus the wrong way around.
You should see a doctor.
I'd love to see a doctor, but they're all hiding.
They're all busy.
Yeah, they're all doing the other thing. There's something about Slenderman that it's either his psychic ability to control people, or the fact that he can just appear, that means that video and audio tend to become distorted around him. And there's a lot of entries where you have like a visual glitch, and then he sort of appears there. So the kind of idea is, I guess, that like in our reality, I didn't need another word, you know what I meant by our reality, he can just sort of pop in and out. But obviously, if you're filming, he doesn't want you to see him arrive or leave necessarily. So he has to kind of glitch out the recording software in order to appear. Yes. Shall we go for... So that was entry 1. Let's see.
And that thing does... That really helps with the transitions.
Yes.
From scene changes and stuff. And as we're mentioning that, I'm going to go slightly into production.
Yes, please do.
The way that they've got, at least for the first few, there's very little spoken dialogue.
Yeah.
Even all the way through it, there's still not a lot. It's mainly this white text on a black background.
Yeah, you get very used to that white text.
It works really well in senses like it'll say, I woke up in bed, or the footage shows me in 2 hours coming back and falling asleep in bed straight away.
Yeah.
I think that works because then you know what's happened.
Yeah.
Whereas if you saw someone coming back in a trance or whatever, getting into bed, falling asleep, it could look so stupid.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Like, do they get in? Do they snuggle up? Takes away from the fear drama. Do they just fall in to try and make it look like they just dropped like a ton of bricks? Could look real stupid.
I love that because it's you know why they've done that for production, so they don't have to actually film. They don't have to stick a camera on a tripod and hit record for 8 hours because that's going to take up several tapes. They can just say, oh, this happened and now I'm here. Like, it makes the whole production a lot easier. But, like, inside of the meta-narrative, it also makes a lot of sense to just be told stuff in that way rather than make you wait.
Sure.
So let's go for entry number 2. Entry number 2, I'll read it out as well. I don't know if there's sound. After a few more hours of tapes, I found this clip of Alex talking whilst driving. Alex, remember, is the director. For now, I will assume that this probably took place before the events of entry 1.
Also, remember, don't use your phone whilst driving. It's very unsafe.
I mean, they were using a camcorder whilst driving, which was probably even worse.
Tonight, and I was taking Rocky for his walk about 20 minutes ago, so around midnight. This was near the set of Marble Hornets. A little bit farther down the road, we saw this really tall guy standing in the middle of the street, just completely still. For whatever reason, this really set off Rocky, and he got really scared. He wouldn't move, and he kept on pulling on his leash to go back home. There was something about this guy that was just, it was strange. So we headed back home. I have a little bit of time left on this tape, and I'm going to go see if he's still hanging around. In fact, I think this is the light that he was standing under. So I'm going to have a look here.
Just going to pause it for the sake of my sanity. Just by the way, while we're going along, if anyone like can't hear it properly or whatever, let me know, because I don't actually currently have a way to monitor sound. So do let me know if you can't hear anything. So it's what hadn't occurred to me before is how he just says, "Oh, there was a really creepy tall guy standing completely still, and my dog didn't like it." Like, yeah, I didn't realize how. Not like super blatantly they said, I just saw the Slenderman, but like, nearest damn it.
Yeah.
I
guess, when I first watched it, I was like, okay, cool. Well, no surprises for who that's going to be.
Yeah, but at the time, I was like, creepy man, what does that mean? But now, like, 11 years later, it's like, it's a Slenderman video.
Oh, yeah,
it's Slenderman.
Okay, you can't really see it well on the camera, but I don't see anyone around here, so I guess he's moved on. But yeah, there's just something about that.
Oop. Tape ends there. From what he describes, I think.
See now.
Yeah, go on.
Why would you drive back? Why would you stop? Why would you get out of the car for the creepy man that set your dog off? That's a stupid, stupid thing to do. Stupid.
They never say that they're clever people. Like, if there were clever people in the world, we would never have horror films.
True.
So from what he describes, I think he has seen something similar to the figure that appeared in entry number 1. That's the end. Yeah. So that's entry number 2. Yeah, it is weird that he's just like, there was a tall man. He was stood really still. My dog did not like him.
I went back and I filmed and he was gone.
Right, let's do it. Number 3. I do like Squarespace. I just don't like the adverts that much.
Just not all these adverts. After this one, shall we find one of the ARC? To the ARC
yes,
videos?
I was trying to work out what the actual order is. I say work out, it's on this website. Apparently the first to the ARC is after entry 9, but like we're obviously not going to watch all of these videos because
yeah,
I will die.
we've got breads to bake and lofts to clear.
Podcasts
There's
to
loads
edit
of weeds in the garden.
that need smoking. Yeah, let's. I think if we watch 3, you'll get. We'll have basically established what is going on. I don't remember what happens in 3. Could be wrong. Entry 3. I'm starting to notice the vast majority of the tapes are completely unrelated to Marble Hornets. Bloody hell.
That's a surprise.
At some point, it seems Alex began filming himself exclusively. The following clips are taken from roughly 12 tapes. So this dude is just like vining hard. Unwrapping. Oh no, it's papers, isn't it? Rustly, rustle.
Yes, he's doing he's been doing drawings.
He's doing a lot of drawings.
Serves.
And you better believe people went through these tapes and tried to like find figures in like the grain.
Oh, of course they did.
Yeah. Buying more tapes.
But I think that's a great thing about it as well, because people would think, oh, there must be this in there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That makes you pore over every single aspect, which adds even more stuff to it. So, like, that map in the background, someone could look at that and go, oh my god, there's this, even though there's nothing there. Yep. And then that adds more and more to it.
And as we see here, he's like timed when the tape is about to end, so like he's never gonna not be taping himself. And there's a really interesting thing about the human brain where like we want to see faces and stuff. So like if there is digital grain, you will sort of like combine pixels to be a face, even when there ain't no face there.
The whole trying to find order in chaos, which is why we can see lovely pictures in clouds.
Yeah.
Or terrifying monsters in the corners of our rooms at night after watching too many Slenderman videos.
Yeah, sorry about that. From what I have been seeing so far, many of these tapes could contain nothing substantial. Although it does seem that Alex wanted to have a camera on himself at all times. So this is basically just feeding into the paranoia aspect of it. And remember that this is entry 3 and we haven't seen Slenderman except for entry 1. We're just establishing the character's paranoia. I wonder if I'm just going to go to the channel and try to find the video that was like the one that made me go, oh. 5 was I think 4 was the first one that was actually scary. When they're in like it's 40 seconds long and it's the one where they're in the playground. If you remember that one, Ben.
I try my best not to, but probably.
I'll play 4 actually rather than 7, because 7 is the one that like really scared me, but it kind of it's 2 minutes long and we all got places to be. I'll play you number 4. Squarespace advert. Oh no, it just went straight to it. Amazing.
Oh, spooky.
I know, it is spooky. Yeah. That's the scariest thing ever.
Squarespace popping up all over the fucking place.
I found another tape containing strange footage and no audio track. You better believe we still went through the audio to check it was blank. Hey, you can take free surveys and get up to $50 on your Steam wallet. That's a good deal. I should click on that. Never mind. Ben doesn't have a bloody
it so you can click on Steam?
No.
You bastard.
The swings are moving, which is impossible to see because of the grain. The trampoline.
Oh no, I did notice I did notice the swings moving.
Yeah.
Ah.
And oh,
he's gone.
So yeah, so this and entry 1 are the only clips I found that do not have sound. I'm starting to suspect that Alex removed the audio himself. Again, it's so interesting, like, looking back at this and like, oh, we were just being fed clues. We were just being told straight up, go through the audio. That hadn't occurred to me before today. Because I just thought that, like,
you were going through audio that wasn't there.
Well, no, that we were basically being instructed to go through the audio. But I mean, it's obvious now, like, as a 30-year-old man rather than as a 20-year-old dumbass, that, like, oh, when an advert says this, it wants you to buy the thing, so that's why you feel like you want to buy it. Like, I didn't get at the time that, like,
being manipulated.
Yeah, when the video says, oh, the audio has been taken out for some reason, I wonder why that is, that your brain interprets that as, well, I'd better go through all the audio then, which is, of course, what people did. I thought people just did that because people are insane. I also like that when I slam my hands on the table, the camera moves, just to add, like, visual. Also, it probably makes a really annoying noise. Sorry about that. Okay, so a lot of the videos are this character Alex filming himself and then, like, getting spooked out, and then you see half of something in the back corner or something. I'm going to skip through entry... Hey, Disney. Entry 5 to the spooky bit. If I can find it.
Have you watched any of Disney Plus? They timed their release really, really well.
Yeah, of course they did. No, I haven't. I want to wait until all the Mandalorians are out and then try to get a subscription, maybe. So this is location scouting. They're in trees. They don't know what this strange... Oh, this bloody weird red tower thing comes up a lot for some reason.
Red tower.
Which I'm still not really clear what it is.
I think the thing that really sort of got me about that is that I have no idea what it is in real life.
No. It could be like an army training
They have no idea what it is
wall.
there. I thought it was maybe like a silo or
Yeah.
for like seed or something for like fire tests or whatever. But you see it later, more close up, and it makes no sense to be anything.
I think it's like part of a wall climbing situation. Oh yeah, so like a yeah, if you're training or whatever, you have to climb over a wall. I thought you just see him in this one, or maybe it wasn't this one. You get like a bit of visual tearing and there's some audio distortion, which I guess they wanted people to go through. Or is he here? Oh god, I'm doing exactly what I did 10 years ago.
Yeah, you are. See, I stopped myself before I got to the point that you're at now, like with the pausing and rewinding, because I did want to watch a fair amount of these before talking about them.
Yes.
Because if I'd been doing this, I would still be on like episode...
Yeah.
Well, I'd be where we are now instead of
I remember
50 episodes ahead.
Well, yeah, exactly. So what did you get up to? 40 something?
I got up to 46.
Okay, cool.
Halfway. But I've been watching all of the To the Ark videos as well.
Yeah.
So there's those interspersed. So I think I've watched around 60, 70 videos now over the last few days.
And yeah, some of them are 7 minutes long, some of them are like seconds long. So let's go to the Ark. So the thing about To the Ark is we don't necessarily know who is uploading the videos to this other YouTube channel, To the Ark. I think you sort of are able to work it out eventually, but I don't think they've necessarily confirmed it one way or another. So the To the Ark videos are cryptic, weird gibberish, basically. Can I go full screen? No.
You can do whatever you want to, baby.
Great.
Oh,
That's good
no,
to
you
know.
can't. Fair enough.
No, I worked it out. It's all good. Audio. I'm going to keep the audio low because it's just noise.
terrifying, bassy AF noise.
Yep. So there's that. That's all that video is. Let's see what the Wikidot has to say. So this was between 9 and 10. So in 9, all that happens is they're filming the actual film Marble Hornets, and like the director's kind of being a knob.
He gets well cranky.
Yeah.
I have started. I think it was in. I think it might have been 7. I can't remember. You've just clicked off the screen. That's what I was looking
sorry.
at. There's one where they're filming just in a car.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's 7. It's just in a car, driver seat, passenger seat, and the dude's they're just chatting, and then you go, okay, let's do the thing. And the guy leans forward and does the scene, and then after the scene, he leans back.
Yeah.
And he's got a little friend in the background that wasn't there before.
Yes, he does.
That was one of those moments where I had to rewind it. I was like, why is the director freaking out, saying, no, we're going now?
Yeah.
And it's because his little buddy.
Because he's right there. I remember this one very clearly as being the one that made me go, oh no. Really, really well done. I can't remember the name of this character. It will probably come up in a second. So they're just doing the, his side of a dialogue. Okay. I forgot.
And
it's in
I
2
do
parts.
love that there's...
Yeah, sorry, go on.
I do love that. I love the actors of this actual thing have really got down the actors of student film.
Yeah.
Because I remember doing shit like this at college.
Oh yeah.
And my God, there is a type of acting that is only ever seen in student film, and it's probably for the best.
Yes. And it's interesting that
just do it natural, and they don't, and it's just not very much. It's just lots of.
It's just because they don't know how to act. That's all it is. It's fine. Like, I don't know how to do anything. Like, it's all good. And it's weird watching back, like, where you can sort of see all the cuts, but that's because I spent like years of my life editing video. So basically, like, spoilers, the area of interest is just where this dude's temple is. Excuse me.
In his forehead region.
Yes. So they're doing.
Maybe you've grown up.
Good to know, Liam.
Maybe this town has grown up. Maybe it has.
I mean, the director isn't feeding him very good lines either. Like, the dialogue isn't strong, and it's not being well delivered by the actual person that wrote it. So whatever.
I know we're not judging for that, but it's fun to judge.
Yeah. So there it is, right there.
Dun, dun, dun.
When 'twasn't but a moment ago. Trying to see if you can actually see that same spot.
You're going to see.
You sort of can't until, yeah.
Well, you can see that it's not there.
Yes. So he's in his car. He leans back, and then Slenderman is in the background, and you saw the spot where Slenderman was earlier, and obviously there was no Slenderman there. And it is like, as a 30-year-old man, really clearly a mannequin with extra long arms. But like, try telling 20-year-old me that when I was drunk all the time. I wouldn't
and
listen
when
to
it's just a little clip, it's.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're done.
And then the director Alex gets freaked out, and they drive off.
Understandably.
And I like how the video then says someone was following Alex, not just like, there's a mannequin with stupid arms in the background.
I'm the Slender Man.
So very slender.
But it's quite a simple filming technique, and clearly it has the right effect.
Oh yeah, massively.
It's simple and very effective to do. When you consider that the only way that did is just someone filming, and then at a certain amount of seconds, someone went, huh!
Yeah.
And just sort of like held out the mannequin or what have you. There's a bit in an episode of Buffy.
Oh yeah.
Where there's a puppet that's actually alive. And it's a very similar thing to that. There's the puppet sat on the chair at the end of the table. A character comes up to the camera and grabs a book or something, looks at the book, walks back around the table, puppet's gone with a big dan.
Yep. Yeah.
Fucking terrifying when you first watch it.
Oh,
but
yeah,
when you analyse
totally.
it, there's some bugger under that table whose job it was just to go, huh,
Oh yeah,
got
of course.
the dummy. I've made the spook.
Yeah.
But it's a very effective way of doing stuff.
Yeah. What shall we do? Shall we sort of look for and like play some choice episodes, or what you thinking? I forgot how much of this was just dumb stuff in a forest.
A lot of it's dumb stuff in a forest. How about popping on another one of the arc thingies, and we can talk about what we think is going on there, as far as
Sure.
up to file 46 or whatever it was I watched.
So Operator, the second video, this was uploaded after number 10. Don't think there was necessarily anything interesting in 10. Yeah, let's give Operator a go. If it loads. My internet appears to be crapping itself, which is probably really good for the stream. Probably.
Yay. Now, I think that these are sort of the call and response things.
Yes, totally.
Like the Marble Hornets videos are going out, and then they've been seen by To the Ark, who happen to know almost everything that's going on.
Yeah, so the implication is that To the Ark has a little more information. Can't get it to play. That's good. I'm not sure what to do.
Maybe it's the Slenderman.
Could be Mr. Slenderman.
Slenderman.
Are you going to do it? Are you going to play? Or are you not going to play? Do I have to play you over here? No, as regards. That was the other one. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh. Are you doing it?
See, we managed to start streaming pretty well today. It was almost bang on. We had no problems, and now this is where the problems are coming. Maybe we're getting too close to something, Liam.
In fairness, like, we're trying to stream and hold down a Skype call. And
no, Liam, it's Slenderman.
Do you reckon?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like many, many years ago when I was looking into 9/11 conspiracy theories.
Oh, of course you were.
Because I was bored.
Because you know how to party.
Yeah. And I had this little folder that I'd made with all different correlating things. I was having a moment, and I spent like 4 or 5 hours doing this.
Wow.
And just as I was like dragging the last few bits in and links and stuff, and I was about to save it. Oh, unable to save. This has all been deleted. Sorry.
Because you got too close to the truth.
I think I got too close to the truth.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
And I think that the US government know for a fact that I will spend 4 to 5 hours doing something absolutely meaningless. But as soon as I find out, hey, that's really important, and I have to do it again, I can't be bothered.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I got close to the truth, but it took some time. I don't want to do it again.
Let's see if we can get it working over here. The annoying thing is I know how to fix it, and it involves restarting my router, and of course I don't want to do that because we're in the middle of a stream. Thank you very much.
Because we're streaming.
Hang on, let me just try it.
So how about a different...
It's beginning to seem like none of the videos are playing, which is great. Are you going to play? Are you going to play? This is really good television. I think we're just going to have to use our words. So, operator the video, uploaded in response to entry 10. The description is...
Right, hang on.
What are you doing?
I've got a way.
Are you going to hold it up to the screen like a... So the fun thing is, all we can see in your phone is the reflection of the laptop. So we've got like the ultimate meta going on.
Wait. Is that better?
I mean, it's not worse. But remember that the To The Ark video is just a blank screen. Yeah, and it's over now. Oh no, now you're playing entry 11. Ben, just stop trying.
Oh. Hey, I brought up solutions that turned out to be problems.
I suppose you did. So it's 22 seconds long, and all it does is it says, lakes in stillness will take every life of the night. And every line of that is capitalized at the start, except for the word life and of thee. So, like, make of that what you will. By God, we tried to work out if it was a anagram or a haiku or a soliloquy, all kind of words we didn't know. Oh, actually,
what
no.
What is a soliloquy?
Soliloquy is like a monologue.
Sort of flower?
Yeah, it's a sort of flower.
Oh.
The capital letters in the video spell out the word listen. At 17 seconds, someone or something says something. After doctoring, it sounds like they're saying run. Well, that's not fair, because you can doctor anything to sound like anything.
Yeah. There's a challenge for all you listeners out there. Make us saying anything sound like anything. And you will be featured on the next live stream.
And they
have a little competition.
Oh, they reckon that the audio goes with the visuals of entry 10. Okay, so 10 is another one. I don't know why I clicked it, because it's not going to work. Or will it? It might work. Who knows? Who bloody knows? So the thing to sort of realise... The thing to realise there is... We're also there. The thing to realise is that To The Ark, for some reason, has access to the missing audio from these videos. So you've got to sort of conclude that, oh, he must be a member of the team or something. And I think the prevailing theory was To The Ark was Alex communicating with Troy, so the original director communicating with Troy, who's uploading videos to Marble Hornets, but perhaps not doing it consciously, kind of, I don't know, sleepwalking or being put under a spell of some kind to then communicate with Troy.
The others.
Yeah, so whether it's that... so, of course, like, you can come to the conclusion that, like, Alex gave the tapes to Troy and said destroy them, but actually he's working for Slenderman to entrap more people, more teenagers.
Like a pyramid scheme.
Exactly like a pyramid scheme. But the fact that Troy uploaded them to the internet was like, oh, we have the ability to ensnare like the entire world's worth of children at this point. So in feeding the audio back to Troy through this covert To The Ark channel, you're kind of like fueling the paranoia about it. And the interesting thing about Slenderman is that, I mean, it's like the nature of like existence and stuff. And yeah, we are going to get this heavy this early in the morning, whatever. If you're afraid,
it's 2:20 in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's what they want you to think. If you're afraid, if you're afraid of something, then that thing is, for all intents and purposes, real. Like, are we afraid of spiders, or are we afraid of wondering if there are spiders on our head and we can't feel them? Sorry. And Slenderman is exactly the same. Like, if you think you can see him, or like you're worried about having the lights off because you're worried he's going to come get you, or you think you see him in the distortion on your TV while you're switching channels. Like, for all intents and purposes, that thing is real enough to freak you out. I'm trying to think there's a word. It sounds like poltergeist or poultice. No, can't remember. But it's the idea that, like, if you're afraid of a buggins or something, then that thing may as well be real because you're afraid of it, and you give it life and you give it reality through being afraid of it, even if it isn't actually a tangible thing. Your fear is the tangible thing.
There is going on to other pop culture references, but this is sort of linked to both what you've said and to Slenderman and all that shit. There's 2 episodes of Supernatural.
Yeah.
One where the whole thing is the poultice, whatever it is that you just said.
Yeah, the
and I think that this was loosely based on Slenderman.
Tulpa. That's the word, Tulpa.
That's the one. Someone starts like a blog online about this house that is just an empty house.
Yeah.
But they go and say that it was this guy who killed the things.
Yeah.
And this. And then people go into the house and this guy is there who kills the things in the way. And then the two go.
And I'm back. Hang on. There we are.
How does it feel to be spooky, Si?
Very.
Intro, Ben and Liam with conversation how unboxing this game /magic/describe/do.
No, that means a change in... Never mind.
So what's the first bit then? The first bit, before the introduction, we're going to say you can get super loot.
That's for the end.
That's for the end, so why is it first?
Because I wrote it down first. Do you want to say it?
Do you have anything to say for yourself?
Yeah, man, rubbing nipples is amazing.
I mean, at least you own it, I guess.
Kittens.
Robes. Jack. Ow.
So we're basically like 20 years in the future, but our clothes make us look like we're scummy college dropouts from the 80s.
I'm recording, go away. It's really hot in here.
You're really hot.
Ah. No, but seriously, there's like 14 lights and it's terrifying.
Are you proud, father?
You know he's not.
I just wasn't prepared for how sexy that was. You really caught me off guard.
Mayo. I eat you every day, oh. You make me feel okay, oh. Mayo.
Simon, vlog. It's a good vlog. It's a good vlog, buddy.
Good lord. Tell the world about promoting gigs.
Hello, Internet. We are speaking to you from the past. It's currently our now, but to you, it's also now, but our past.
Let's see your best impression, Ben.
Of what?
Just your best impression.
Betty the got the whoops in my beret, caused a lot of trouble. Who's gonna see the Queen on Christmas Day then?
You're editing it correct.
Nah, I might just upload it straight from the SD card. That's just how I roll.
Fair enough.
Sausagely.
Right.
I go through my mic.
Going through your stuff.
Today's word is toilet. A small gift that you may give to a child as a solstice or Christmas gift. Toilet.
I did it.
Robes. Check. Let's sing a song about our predictions for the future.
It will happen unless we're all dead.
Quickly, Ben, witty retort.
Ha! That's a sort of cake that makes jokes. Oh, that's a wittier tort.
It's off.
That was Sinbad's idea. He's our tambourinist. He's got one really big arm, which is weird because the tambourine's really quite small.
Ben's just turned up to him. And the battery's out! God damn it! What a day.
Where do all the bad colours go when they break the law? They get sent to prison.
Yo, 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 Goober, where's the meat? Normal people love.
You don't win friends with.
Normal people love.
You don't win friends with.
Normal people.
You don't win friends with.
Normal people love me.
You don't win.
Normal people.
You don't win friends with. You don't win friends with.
Normal people love me. Normal people love.
You don't win friends with.
Normal people love.
You don't win friends with.
Normal people.
You don't win friends with.
Normal people love me. Normal people love.
You don't win friends with.
Normal people love.
You don't win friends with.
Normal people.
You don't win friends with.
Normal people love me. You don't win friends with. 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 Yo, Goober, where's the meat?
Live! Oh, my unborn children!
What I'm trying to get I'll wait till you're done tittering, that's fine. Ruiner of things! Ben drinks Diet Coke, take 3. Right, good.
Damn you, Spielberg!
Magical toilets flying through the sky.
I learned about cactus.
Without finding yourself hilarious.
Oh, that's hard for me.
Dim.
Shyamalan!
Would you like a lemon? Lemon! Lemon! Would you like a lemon?
Hammers!
Take poo! Oh, sorry, I meant to.
Hang on, are we on now? This is going really well.
Now we're on.
Now we're on. Okay, so that whole thing...
Are you saying that whole conversation we just had isn't in there?
Yeah, it wasn't that good of a conversation. It's basically me just trying to fix stuff. Yeah, sorry, hang on. So when I press this button...
It was you just talking, you
Hang on.
trying to fix stuff and me talking in depth about Supernatural, but fine, whatever.
No, not that
Thank you to the people who are still actually listening.
Thing number 1, that was all recorded as the podcast, so that bit's fine. Thing number 2, not all of that conversation, just a little bit of it. Sorry, so is my monitor on screen now or not?
It is now, yes.
Okay, I want it off. But we're still on screen now. But the monitor's off.
You and I
but no
are
monitor.
on screen.
But no
your
monitor.
monitor is off. I understand what you're saying now. Yes, your monitor is off.
Okay.
For ages we just had that like playlist of little clips of stuff. I don't know if anyone could hear us whilst we were doing that. It was all very interesting. You'll have to listen to the podcast.
It was so interesting.
To find
Bloody
out what
hell.
we're talking about.
Yeah, sorry, I'm struggling a little bit because, like, quarantine. Just blame the virus. It's all good. There are buttons everywhere, and I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see if we can now watch a video. We won't be able to. This is going to really annoy me.
It's fine.
It is fun.
The mask.
Yes, tell us about the mask
person
character.
we were talking about.
Yeah.
The mask character seems to be an actual person, instead of like how Slenderman is.
Yes.
Seems to be a person in a mask, not particularly supernatural. I have a feeling that it's almost like a. So I'm trying to find a picture of the mask as well. Sort of like a servant of the Slender Man.
Yes.
Or like a cult person.
Here we go.
There we go.
There's a few.
Wearing that.
There's a few theories about it.
You've got it as well.
I've got it as well. I'm
gonna make sure that I close that tab on my phone so I don't shit myself next time I look anything up.
There's a very real risk of that. The prevailing theory is that the mask allows you to not get got by Slenderman. So I think you're supposed to think that he's working for Slenderman in the first instance because he's adversarial. But actually, I think the mask is a protective thing. Yeah. Have we gotten into who the masked person is? It sort of shows it here a little bit on the screen.
A little bit, yeah. But not. I don't know why.
Okay. What, you don't know why?
It's one of the people from the production of Marble Hornets.
Yeah.
The student films.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure why this person is wearing the mask. I've not got that far. I know that he's been taking pills.
Yeah.
I think that the characters take pills a lot. Not like party pills.
Yeah, but like
it says ibuprofen, but I feel like it might be something to make them forget. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But
again,
now it seems that them losing chunks of their time is a negative thing, which it kind of is.
Yeah. It's up to like your own conspiratorial brain and whatever. But the thinking is that Tim, the character with the beige yellow jacket, is wearing the mask. Spoopy mask is wearing the mask because it means that Slenderman can't get him, whatever that means, and he's also on pills, and being out of pills would in some way be a bad thing, and the implication is that the pills are a prescription by an actual doctor. I seem to recall someone saying, oh yeah, but the doctor's in cahoots with Slenderman, or the doctor is Slenderman, or whatever. So I think the pills make the user like lose chunks of time, which I guess kind of is either a good or bad thing, because if you were getting got by Slenderman, I personally would just rather not remember.
Want to remember.
Yeah, exactly.
But
so yeah,
then,
that was another exciting angle.
Would that be better or worse? Because if you don't remember it, it's the whole thing of like, don't let the monster be seen on screen, because whatever people imagine is worse than what you can show them.
Yeah.
So maybe you might want to remember what Slenderman was doing. Maybe he was just tickling you.
Good news is
he was cutting your toenails or something.
Video's back for some reason. I think basically the internet is just struggling a little bit because everyone's trying to use the internet because everyone's working from home, and we're only on Virgin Media, who suck. And of course the router's trying to prioritize the stream, so it was struggling for a little bit. You didn't need to know any of that. Basically, I'm trying to justify the fact that it went a bit screwy there for 20 minutes.
But it's worked.
I mean, now
Hooray.
It's working. So shall we try and find a video with Masky? I think that might be the smart thing to do.
Yeah, sure.
Where does Masky first appear? Let's go Marble
Um,
Hornets wiki dot
Masky boy.
Masky.
So how have you been doing, Liam, without all of the Slenderman going on? Let's whilst you look at this, let's take a moment to just have a little chat. Let's have a catch up.
How have I been going without all the Slenderman going on?
I mean, without talking about Slenderman, how you been doing other than the Slenderman
Oh,
shit?
I see. Yeah, no, I'm good. My life is basically fine. I'm in a lucky position where my day job haven't gotten rid of me. I'm not necessarily sure they'd be able to, which is good to know. I'm just trying to work out if there's any time that I can realistically go into the office, as it were, without having to be near any people. So I'm hoping to do like a little of, actual work. So hopefully that will give my life a little more structure. Otherwise, I'm trying to catch up with everything that I've been trying to catch up with for the last 3 years. So that hasn't changed. It's all right. I'm perfectly happy living inside my own brain. I know that other people aren't, so sorry about that, but I'm fine. How are you? Without all the Slenderman.
I'm guiltily okay.
Sure.
Because there's people that it's gotta suck to be some people right now.
I mean,
Obviously,
to be honest, there's always there's going to be a point where everyone,
in general.
Yeah, sometimes it just sucks to be a person, like swings and roundabouts.
Yeah. But I'm like trying to. I think if you try and look at the positive bits.
Yeah.
If you really focus on them, then you can sort of think, well, it's not. Like if you're getting some pay from work, focus on that. It's good. Some people aren't.
Yeah.
And if you're not able to, then you might still have a job, or you've got something coming in. You're okay. You're still alive. You're still going.
Yeah.
Which is
true.
a positive thing.
Yeah.
Because this will stop. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
It'll get. We will return to some form of normality at the end.
I was on
Just look at the good bits while things suck for a while.
I was on BBC Cambridgeshire a few weeks ago talking to Spanners, who's been on the show before, been on the podcast. We were talking like exclusively about the fact that actually a lot of people are saying how they're glad that they can be creative during the lockdown, and how like, oh, if you're not being productive then you suck. But like that is really, really unhelpful and really not a good mindset to have, because if you think about like me, to write music or write sketches or anything, I need to be out in the world talking to people and experiencing life. If I'm not doing that, I don't really have anything to then reflect on and create stuff about. So while life isn't happening, don't worry if you can't make stuff. Like, just literally don't worry about it. Just take this time to like catch up on TV, work out what kind of head rubs you enjoy, like do your nails, like whatever. Just relax and don't worry about it. This isn't a time to necessarily be productive. And I think actually,
but
yeah, go on.
I would say that I agree with you there. Although if you do want to, say you did want to write music or draw or something, but you feel like you can't do your best because of this, still give it a go. Maybe there was something that you wanted to improve on. You could do that. You could try and improve on certain little bits.
You can use it to work on the technique. Like so for example, I'm not really able to write music very well at this point, but I can use spare time to actually practice the craft of songwriting. So I'm doing a songwriting challenge at the moment. I'm posting a new chord sequence every day onto Twitter. And granted, I decided to do this before the lockdown happened, but like I've actually gotten around to doing it now, coincidentally with the lockdown, and I'm on, what have I got, 4 days left. I am starting to run out of ideas. it's hard. But yeah, that's been quite fun because it's just something to just practice without having to worry about necessarily being creative. You're just creating, if that makes a damn bit of sense.
That's what I tried to say, except you did it more betterer.
Thank you.
You did words more good than me.
That is sort of my job. In order to introduce people to Marsky, I was going to play entry 19.
Sure.
Which is a good one. I'm going to swap the screen. Hang on, I've got my my previous screen back, so this should work. I'm going to let it catch up so I don't accidentally run away and leave sketches playing like I did before. And I'm also going to run outside and grab a drink quickly because it's hot as balls in here and I'm thirsty for a Pepsi Max. Hang on, it's about to...
All I have is water.
Oh, you should get some Pepsi Max.
Arse.
Right, I'm going to hit play and then be back in about 8 seconds.
Cool. Hey, guys. Liam's not here right now. It's just us. It's nice to be just us from time to time. Hope you're doing okay. Hope you're taking care of yourselves and each other. Washing your little hands. Staying indoors when you can. Maybe you should get some water as well. It's good for you. Have some water. If you can, sit in the sun for a bit each day. Get some vitamin D. D. Yeah, and take care of yourself. Kind of sucks at the moment, but yeah. Take some time. Some seagulls that always really annoy me over by the builder's yard near my house. I'll sit in my garden.
Seagulls?
I'll pretend I'm by the
about?
seaside.
What's going
I'll
on?
pretend I'm by the seaside.
Ben.
Those bloody seagulls now help me relax. Anyway, Liam's back to ruin everything.
What are you on about?
How's your Pepsi Max, you dick?
Really fresh and cold.
Nice.
How are you?
Well, I'm good. Just been chatting to the...
Spoopy happenings.
Pod babies.
Pod babies. I like that.
Yeah, pod babies.
Pod babies. So this is
I like
Marsky.
how he... That's the mask boy. Now, is he really close to the camera in that bit? Yes, he is.
He was, yeah.
Ah, see, now I wasn't sure when I first watched that. I've been watching these on my phone.
Okay. What did you think
Which
was
is both
happening?
good and bad.
Okay.
I thought that it was either him really close or him with Troy over his shoulder or something.
Sure.
But yeah, I've been watching these on my phone, which is both good and bad.
Mm.
It's good because I can sort of hold it a little bit further away, so I'm not as necessarily involved. So when I know something spooky is going to happen, I can be like, no, it's cool.
It's just
on
put
my
it over
phone.
there. Yeah, that's true.
But it also means that when it's quiet, as it is sometimes, I have to turn the volume up and hold it quite close to my face. And I was like,
that's not what you want.
Oh, this is gonna happen, or nothing's gonna happen, and I'm gonna forget, and it's gonna happen. Oh, I'm gonna be sad.
So Troy's theory, Marble Hornets' theory, is that To the Ark is Marsky. Basically, I think that's because here's a character with no name, here's a presence online which doesn't have a real name, must be the same person, but I don't think that's necessarily the case.
Right.
What was I going to say? Let's take a slight deviation. Did you happen to watch any of Troy Has a Camera?
No, I've been pouring myself into this.
Okay, that's fine.
Pouring, I say.
So, Troy Wagner, whatever, the guy that one of the Marble Hornets team, the actor who plays Troy,
sure,
he had his own YouTube channel. It still technically exists, but is much less active now. where he was posting silly dumb stuff, much like we were 5-6 years ago. And actually some of the stuff...
we still post dumb stuff.
Yes, but this is truly dumb. Some of the stuff they did is like... I'm just going to put Troy shaves his face on because this is like actual real inspiration for like a lot of the sketch comedy and stuff that we did over the years.
Okay.
And I remember sort of having been really into Marble Hornets, watching these sketches and then being like, oh, this is crazy, because I didn't discover Tim and Eric for ages. So this was like quite a big deal to me. So let's just put on Troy shaves his face. So this is the same group of dudes that did Marble Hornets. Oh, we should have audio, but we don't, which is really helpful. Why do we not have audio, folks? What do we think's going on there? This is... Ben, it's back to being seamless again. What do we think's going on with the audio?
I don't know.
Hang on, let me test that.
I'm just here for the ride, buddy.
Are you? How's that going? Over there.
I can hear you.
You can hear me, but we can't hear the...
I can't hear the Troy about to shave his face.
Can't hear the Troy about to shave his face. Wow, guys, we're all doing really well today. Let's just move that over there. Move that over there. Control your music videos and more. Right, well, tell you what, I'm just going to try and fix that. You know, the frustrating thing is that we had a call yesterday and we fixed everything. We got it all working. And now it's right back to not working again. Yes. And I can't even work out why. I think my computer's just been silly buggers for ages. Dun, 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 dun. Ben, what's your favourite form of egg?
Poached.
Poached? Yeah, good shout. I like
Poached
poached
egg.
Poached egg.
You know those little mini pizzas, like the ones that you can put in the oven or microwave?
Yeah. I know them.
If you get one of those, either the cheese or the pepperoni ones, microwave them for 10 seconds longer than you should.
Right.
Then pop a poached egg on top of one of them.
Ooh.
The pizza crust is weirdly chewy.
Interesting.
The cheese isn't quite bits of the cheese are like microwave burnt, so it's crunchy but odd. It's not fine dining, but it's bloody good.
I'll settle for some bloody good dining. That sounds lovely.
We should have that as the tagline of our restaurant.
Bloody good dining.
Settle for some bloody good dining.
I'm a bit funny with egg and cheese and stuff, like, because egg is essentially a liquid if you've got the runny yolk. But then cheese, if you heat it, is also basically a liquid. So I don't like them combining. If we've got scrambled egg, fine. Hang on, let me just do a test. Failed to playback test tone. Amazing. Let's open this other thing and then continue talking about eggs. So if, like, I'll have cheese with a scrambled egg, but I won't have cheese with a poached egg, because those are two kinds of liquid. And I'm not okay with that.
What about fried egg?
Fried egg, if it's runny, then that counts as a liquid.
Okay.
Yeah.
How often are you having cheese with eggs?
I mean, I try not to ever do it because it grosses me out.
But like, I'm trying to think of a number of meals that aren't carbonara or pizza with egg on.
Sure.
Where egg and cheese would meet in liquid form. Surely the cheese to be liquid,
well, I mean,
has
for
to be
example,
so
the
hot
thing...
that it would probably cook the egg.
Yeah, I mean, for example, the thing that you said, where you want to put a poached egg on a pizza, like that, for example.
True.
Yeah.
But other than that, hey, I'm not food shaming you.
I'm not the one on trial
I'm
here,
just
buddy.
I'm just trying to think. You know, how many meals are there where that runny egg and runny cheese, you know, sit together in
I mean, in my household, none.
harmony?
But like, if we do something like a fancy burger
Write
of
in
some
and
kind,
tell us about your cheesy, eggy mixtures. Contact us on facebook.com/conversation hat.
Ben. Yeah, for example, if
Conversation Hat Podcast on Twitter, Instagram. Send us your pictures and your recipes for runny egg and runny cheese.
in case you're wondering what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing, just by the way, so we can all stop using our imaginations. There you go. There's a peek behind the veil.
Deviled egg and camembert.
Which one's a deviled egg? Isn't that just when it's off?
They boil an egg, they cut it in half.
Right.
They take the yolk out.
Right.
They put all the yolks in a bag.
Okay.
With I think it's like chili stuff
Mm-hmm.
and mayonnaise.
Right.
And then they mush it up.
Okay.
And then you have all of the eggs, all of the hollowed out eggs, basically, all of the egg whites without the yolk in, and then they pipe the mayonnaisey, yolky, chili stuff into the middle of the eggs.
And that will sort of
And that's
cure,
a deviled egg.
That's what cures cancer, is it?
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, then what is the point?
I don't know. Pretentious eggs.
Ah, pretentious eggs. Prenegging.
I think it's just trying to make
Negative
it okay to have a relatively posh soiree where you can just eat half a boiled egg and no one calls you common.
I just have a Scotch egg and then beat up anyone that says it's common. I'm not really worried about being common. I'm not really worried about eggs, to be honest.
Particularly when they're runny, mixed with cheese.
Yeah, exactly. For anyone that's wondering, we're still exactly here. Not
What
really
are your
sure what's going
favourite
on.
eggs, Liam?
Poached egg.
Poached egg, same as me?
I'm quite good at poaching eggs. I like poached egg on toast. I think that's really good. Spritz of pepper, tiny spritz of salt on top. Lovely. Good time. Wonderful time had by all. Would recommend.
You should only ever salt your eggs once they've been cooked. Never salt your eggs whilst cooking them. If you're making an omelette, do it last. If you're doing scrambled, do it last. It starts to make the eggs go weird before they've started cooking.
If
fucking
you're
up
poaching,
your eggs is what you're doing.
If you're poaching and you're making the well, you're making the little spinny whirlpool, tiny bit of balsamic, no salt, tiny bit of balsamic. That's what you need. Helps it keeps its shape. Also, before you put the egg in the pan to cook it, put it through a sieve. Don't put it through a sieve. Put it in a sieve. And what you find is like all the really loose bits that would turn into that annoying wispy crap, they'll come through the sieve. You dump the rest in there, keeps its shape.
That's really cool. I normally do it, and you need a room temperature egg.
Yeah.
What I would do is I would break it into a ramekin.
Yeah.
And then you can gently plop it in so it doesn't go mental. So what we're saying is if we get a room temperature egg and a room temperature sieve, crack it in there, put the good stuff in a ramekin, put that into the swirly pool with some balsamic and some salt.
No salt. Don't salt it. Don't salt the water.
Sorry.
Falls
Balsamic.
apart. Just balsamic.
Then we could get it out, put a bit of salt on it, then
exactly.
Pop it on
That's
a pizza. Would you eat it then? Would you eat it on a pizza then? If we made this
because it's got cheese on it.
All right, we won't do that then. But we've just made out. We've just found. We've made out.
We've just made out.
What's the distance? It's the eggs. The eggs are getting me.
The eggs are getting to you.
They're getting me going.
Oh no, you've got
We've
egg
just
madness
created
again.
the god poached eggs. Yeah.
Marble Hornets and eggs. I came for the Marble Hornets and I stayed for the eggs. I'm not making much progress with the audio, just in case you're wondering. But everything is breaking, which is wonderful. What's your favourite kind of bean? We have had this conversation before on the podcast, I realise.
Jelly.
Ah.
The jelly bean.
Good answer. Noble jelly bean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have we? Oh, yeah. Didn't we talk with Rich Wilson about
Rich Wilson, it was that.
beans?
Beans indeed. Let's stick you in there. Would it work? Moment of truth. I mean, it's not the moment of truth because I don't think it will work. And now we're back to the video not working, so I guess I just give up. What a day we've had.
I think we started with Slenderman.
And we came right round to eggs.
Eggs. We've gone through beans. We started off, everything was working, and now it's fallen to shit. I think that's good time to lift our glasses.
Tell you what, shall we... Let's end with the story of how Marble Hornets ends. Because...
Cheers me, you bastard.
No, because I'm telling a story. We're not done yet. What happened behind the scenes is...
I haven't seen the end of Marble Hornets, so
I'm not going to go into the end of Marble Hornets. You can enjoy that, but the reason that it stopped behind the scenes is Marble Hornets sort of really massively took off in a big way that none of the crew sort of really anticipated. So what happened was, for simplicity, the three of them, Tim, Alex and Troy, they formed a company, but they formed it under Troy's name. Now what happened, but like the agreement was that like that was just to get it done quicker for whatever reason, because it was simpler. So like all of the money that randomly came in through, because you could advertise on YouTube a lot easier back then, all of that money would just go into a company and then they could spend it on doing more stuff, paying rent, whatever they needed to do. But the company was in Troy's name just as a formality. But when it came to like production meetings and stuff, eventually Troy would like start pulling rank and being like, well, it's my company, so what I say goes, which he has since confessed was kind of a dick move.
Yeah.
But I get how, like, if you do happen to have like an inkling more control than someone else, like in the name of getting something done, you will pull rank even when like it's not a good idea.
Sure.
Which, yeah, it's one of them things that, like, especially if you're a teenager and you come into money that you've made with your friends, it's gonna go wrong. So I think they started doing stuff like the sketches on Troy Has a Camera as well as Marble Hornets, and obviously the sketches were a lot more rewarding because you don't have to put as much work into them and you have like an actual finished thing by the end of it. Like
and there's the payoff, yeah.
And like Marble Hornets wasn't going to be a finished thing for ages, so I think they had like various ideas of how to wrap it up, but like they kept sort of doing it, which is why like production on Marble Hornets sort of slows down, and like the gaps between the episodes took a long ass time, so like you were waiting for months between episodes sometimes, so it just made it a little crappy and annoying to watch. But like as Ben's doing now, you can just go back and watch them all in sequence and kind of have a better time, and probably a less stupid, messed up, paranoid time as well. So eventually, yeah,
this will be done in a couple of days for me, yeah.
Yeah, let us know if you're still sane by the end of it.
I don't think I was sane at the beginning, but okay.
Yeah, well, let us know if it's affected your sanity in any way. It may have fixed you. Who knows?
It may have fixed me. Thanks, buddy.
I don't know. Might do. Yeah, so that I think they sort of agreed to finish Marble Hornets, but like then they basically wouldn't be friends. So like you notice the cast of like Troy Has a Camera sort of altering very rapidly through the course of a couple of years. So like Marble Hornets is still basically a fun watch, and I think it's got its kind of impact on the internet and like horror and stuff is like quite important.
Yeah, even though it was apparently not the best received movie, the Slenderman one.
Yes.
When that came out in 2018.
Mm.
I mean, surely this is still over the 10 years that Marble Hornets has been out. It will have affected a huge number of people who make stuff, and they will go on to make horror and other things. It's, you know, it has had a big effect on stuff.
And I think it's a shame that they decided to do a Slenderman movie rather than trying to do stuff like in the found footage, messed up timeline sort of meta-narrative way. Like, I think the inspiration it gives you on like the way that you format a film or a story, the way you tell a story is way more interesting and helpful than its impact on Slenderman. So I think there being a Slenderman movie is kind of a mistake, and it just shows you that like the people who make decisions in Hollywood or whatever aren't the people that actually enjoy and take part in things when they happen. So that's worth bearing in mind. So yes, I believe that Troy Wagner is still making stuff. I think he was working on a new kind of weird horror thing. You can find Troy Has a Camera on Patreon, I think. I supported him on there for a couple of years just to see what was going on and to watch some of the videos that came out, and they were kind of interesting. They weren't quite as compelling as Marble Hornets, but then like they weren't necessarily going to be. And if you want to find out all about like what happened behind the scenes and all of that stuff, it is quite interesting, even as like a business owner, just to read and be like, oh, so that's something that can go wrong. That's worth being aware of.
Sure.
Yeah. So, thanks for watching or listening or whatever you were doing. Shall we wrap up the podcast and then wrap up the live stream? Does that make sense?
Let's do so. Thank you for listening to the Conversation Hat podcast. I was doing it.
Sorry, there's a lag. We can't argue. There's a lag, Ben.
We can argue if there's a lag. It just means that we have to preemptively strike.
Suck it. Go on, you do it.
Thank you for listening to the Conversation Hat podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Conversation Hat podcast. We hope that you... I can't even see your face, so it's not even... Okay, there you are. I can see you now. Go on.
Thank you for listening to the Conversation Hat podcast. We hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you enjoyed it more than I did, because Liam's a bit of an arse.
Yeah,
and
fine.
the internet and technology is terrible as well. Please look after yourselves. Be nice to each other. Wash your hands. Eat healthy. Drink water. Get out in the sun if you can, but exercise with restraint. Don't go, oh, I'm going out to exercise and sit on a park bench when you've never left the house in the last 15 years.
Just don't be an idiot with it,
Have a
basically.
word with yourself. Don't be
Don't be stupid. Don't applaud hard-working NHS people on a bridge in a crowd, because that's stupid. Here's something that isn't stupid. If you like the podcast, or if you want the podcast to get better, or if you like us, whatever, please do consider finding us on Patreon, Conversation Hat Podcast. Any income that comes into the podcast goes back into the podcast in a variety of ways, whether it's trying to lock down some very important guests, and oh bloody hell, I am excited about some of the guests we have lined up for whenever this whole situation ends.
we got some bangers coming in.
At least 2. So I'm really excited.
Not us.
No, in addition to us. Really excited about that. If you want to sort of keep up with us in between episodes, you can find Convo Hats Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. You can also find Conversation Hat Podcast on Facebook, but Facebook is evil, so that's sort of up to you. If you want to give us a 5-star review, a nice wordy review on whatever podcast app you are listening to us on now. Words. Yeah, that made sense. That actually helps us out a lot and is a good way of supporting us without giving us any money. And if you want to watch the podcast live streams as they go out, you can find Convo Hat Podcast on Twitch, twitch.tv/Convo Hat Podcast, all one word. And if you just search Conversation Hat Podcast on YouTube, we will come up there. We are partnered on Twitch, so if we have a preference, I guess it's there. Although Amazon is also kind of evil.
Yeah, Amazon's a massive dick, but hey, Overlords. You can also find Liam on Twitter at LTGuitarist and me on Instagram at Spike Pierson. And I think we're both on TikTok now as well, aren't we?
Oh,
After that
heck. Yes.
That last podcast that we recorded with Mr. Roman Armstrong.
Convo Hat Podcast on TikTok.
You're
Convo Hat Podcast on TikTok. LT Guitarist on TikTok. What's yours? Spike Pierson on TikTok?
Spike Pierson on TikTok.
Yeah. Bloody hell.
Pierson, Pierson. People always forget, but it does mean if ever I'm in trouble with the police, I don't correct their spelling.
Fair
Not
enough.
that that's ever happened.
It's all that dogging.
Anyway,
right.
That's a good time to leave. I'm going to
Let's
go
end
now.
the podcast, and then we'll say bye to the live stream people. Podcast ending now.
See you later. Bye.
Boop. Live stream people. Thank you.
You are our special people because you sit
you were
here
here
and listen to us talk bollocks for 2 hours
when the stuff doesn't
and
load.
put up with all of the fuck ups.
Don't call me that.
I mean, you put up with us 2 fuck ups and all the fuck ups to do with us. So we
All
thank
of
you
them.
very much. You
Yeah,
are our
man.
extra lovelies. We'll see you in about a month.
Yes, I mean
Probably still in quarantine.
we're talking about doing stuff in between, but we haven't worked out what that is. So, watch this space, I guess.
You find us. You
It's
listen
all
to
good.
us. You'll be in the know.
Yeah, man. Toodles. I'm going to put the sketches on now, but it's on purpose. See you later.
See you later. Bye.
And then I'd love you till I make you pop.
Dun, dun, dun. Hang on. Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Yeah, I'm in a tree. Ow! We're in love. Jeffrey Chaucer!
There's a cactus in my hair!
I need to not lose my shit.
Yo, I must have fallen on a bullet and it drove itself into my gut.
Hey, don't worry. You don't have to make up stories here. Save that for court. Save that for court.
Excuse me, Mr. Smithers. Bart may be seriously hurt. Could we possibly go ahead of you?
No. I really would rather get this taken care of. No. I really would rather. No.
Excuse me, little lady. Wheelbarrow line is over there.
Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are a dangerous mix. Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are a dangerous mix. Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are a dangerous mix. Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are a dangerous mix.
Excuse me, Mr. Smithers.
Excuse me, little lady.
Excuse me, Mr. Smithers.
Excuse me, little lady.
Excuse me, Mr. Smithers.
Excuse me, little lady.
Excuse me, Mr. Smithers.
Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers. Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers. Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers. Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are a dangerous mix.
Live. Die.
die? Live. 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 Live! Live! Stop! Live! Oh. Live!
Jeremy Mange, isn't he strange? But listen to his voice, he's got incredible range.
Will you take a Mount Splashmore?
No.
Will you take a Mount Splashmore?
No.
Will you take us to Mount Splashmore?
No.
Will you take us to Mount Splashmore?
No.
Will you take a Mount Splashmore?
No.
Will you take a Mount Splashmore?
No.
Will you take us to 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 Mount Splashmore? No. Will you take us to Mount Splashmore?
If I take you, will you two shut up and quit bugging me?
Yeah, of course. Well. Will you take us to Mount Splashmore?
Yes.
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 Thanks, Dad.
And I'm back. Hang on. There we are.
How does it feel to be spooky, Si?
Very.
Intro, Ben and Liam with conversation how unboxing this game /magic/describe/do.
No, that means a change in. Never mind.
So what's the first bit then? The first bit, before the introduction, we're going to say you can get super loot.
That's for the end.
That's for the end, so why is it first?
Because I wrote it down first. Do you want to say it?
Do you have anything to say for yourself?
Yeah, man, rubbing nipples is amazing.
I mean, at least you own it, I guess.
Kittens.
Robes. Jack. Ow.
So we're basically like 20 years in the future, but our clothes make us look like we're scummy college dropouts from the 80s.
I'm recording, go away. It's really hot in here.
You're really hot.
Ah. No, but seriously, there's like 14 lights and it's terrifying.
Are you proud, father?
You know he's not.
So I just wasn't prepared for how sexy that was. You really caught me off guard.
Mayo. I eat you every day, oh. You make me feel okay, oh. Mayo.
Simon, vlog. It's a good vlog. It's a good vlog, bud.